Have you ever had this experience? You get hungry, run to the fridge, open it, and all that you see is a few sausages. Whether it's just your university time memories or your daily diet, definitely you would like your meal to be tasty. Perhaps, as you were eating your sausages, you sometimes wondered if the water in which they were boiling didn't steal all the taste. Is it possible? Why did it happen and how to avoid it? Here's a short video about the physics of sausages. Let's start! It's true. The tap water in which the franks were boiling has gained some taste and fat, though there are students who would happily use this water to make a cup of tea. Why does it happen? First, there is a very thin membrane between the water and the meat inside. With the naked eye, it seems to be an excellent barrier between the inside of the sausage and the external world, but in a smaller scale, it is not. The membrane contains a huge number of tiny holes through which little particles can move. When there are more of them on one side than on the other, so-called osmotic pressure develops there. As a result, the particles from the inside of the sausage get out to the water. This process is called osmosis. In the case of the sausage, on one side of the skin there is just water, and on the other side there is meat containing water, salt, aromas, and fats. Osmosis is a very complex topic, and scientists are still working on the most accurate model of it. If you would like to learn more about it, please check the references in the video description. Okay, but what can we do to avoid eating franks that taste like the plastic casing they come in? In other words, how to stop or at least minimize the osmosis. There are a few things you can do. The first one is to put some salt in the water. Of course, it will not stop the movement of fats and aromas, but at least it will reduce the loss of salt. Another way requires some sacrifice. You need to put one sausage in the pot first and boil it for some time. Our goal is to take out of the sausage all the substances responsible for taste. We can also cut it into pieces to make the process even quicker. After we get out the remains of the sausage, we have some broth in the pot. Its concentration of the substances definitely prevents osmosis more than the tap water would. Although this costs us 1 franc, if we boil more of them, it's definitely worth the sacrifice. At last, we can enjoy a tasty meal without using tons of ketchup. Although some people may have a different opinion, for most of us it's not just the taste that matters. The visual aspect of our dish is also important. Have you ever seen a sausage taken out of water that looked like someone had made a deep surgical incision in it? This definitely doesn't look appetizing and doesn't help keep the taste inside. After all, in a sausage that has burst, water and meat contact directly. But now comes a question: who did this harm to our dinner? Among others, it is connected with the temperature of the water in which we boil the sausages. Unless we live on the top of Mount Everest, water boils at 212 degrees Fahrenheit, that is 100 degrees Celsius. And not only the water in the pot, but also the water that is in the sausage. In addition, the skin around the boiling sausage lets some water in. Yes, in this case, the culprit is also osmosis, because as a result of difference in concentration, the water from the pot gets into the sausage. This makes it swell. Then, changing to vapor, water expands, which increases the pressure inside the sausage. The skin has its tolerance, and at a certain pressure it bursts. What can we do to avoid it? We simply need to boil the sausages at a lower temperature, something about 180 degrees Fahrenheit, that is around 80 degrees Celsius. And how to check the temperature of the water in the pot if the scale thermometer is too low? It's simple. You can always use 2 and the scale will double. Or else use a kitchen thermometer or another ingenious device. I think both of them will work. Okay, now that we know how to make perfect sausages, we can finally eat them. Bon appétit! But I have one more physical fact for you. Maybe you never did research into it, and I also before this video, but if we check how many sausages burst lengthwise in comparison to those that burst crosswise, we find out that unless we've broken a sausage by putting it into a small saucepan, all sausages that burst lengthwise. Why? Shortly speaking, the pressure that is caused by evaporating water is the same in the entire sausage. But the force applied to the membrane lengthwise is even twice as big as the force applied crosswise. So as a result of it, boiling water that increases the pressure causes sausages to burst lengthwise first, before they could burst crosswise. It is the end of this video in which we are able to dive into the mysterious world of sausages. Time to emerge! And if you are a student and feel that a huge roller called mathematics or physics is chasing you, I'd like to invite you on my courses. For more information, please see my website. Thank you for watching and see you next time.